Hello everyone and welcome to a cheeky little interview we have with our two DSR drivers, Salsgaard and Karl Lykkegaard. Now Karl, I interviewed you a couple of years ago. We had a really nice interview, and if I remember, you even showed me around your sim rig. I saw a nice Nürburgring poster or something as well. But let's talk racing. We've just come off the first race of the Endurance Racing World Championship 2022. You guys finished fourth, and the first thing I want to ask is, you were in the LMP2 class last year and the year before that. How has the change for both of you been adapting to the GT3 cars? Karl, I'll go to you first.
Yeah, to correct you, it was only last year we was in the LMP car. The year before that we were also in the Callaway GT3. So yeah, we were last year in the LMP2 car, and it didn't really suit any of us. We never got comfortable in the car, and it really none of us suited our kind of driving. So we are back in the GT3 car, and it has been much more pleasant and fun to drive again. And we just feel really comfortable in all the Callaway Corvette. We were talking about if it should be a historic race in that old car, maybe a class of his own.
Well, you guys did relatively well, and Stephen, how's it been for you going back to the GT3 class?
Yeah, but I have yet to do a race in it. I wasn't participating in the race on Matsusaka last weekend. My teammate Mikael was, and Karl was driving that race. So for now, I have just been behind the curtains this season and kind of cheered on them last weekend. So that's been my part for now. But I'm on for next race on Monza.
So I've got to come in with a spicy question. How much quicker are you guys going to be once Stephen gets into the car and you've got the A team back?
Yeah, that's a good question because I think it was the A team last weekend. We all are, but maybe when we put us all together, it's a stronger team. That could be, but it was a 12-hour race, and we calculated it could be done with two persons. We've done that before, and the two drivers, both Karl and Mikael, is very strong drivers, very good drivers, and they are stable over the long run. So I hadn't any doubts in their participation last weekend in what they could bring home, and for a short while they were also in third place. But I think Karl had a little bit of an accident and went back to fourth place where they started the race. So I think it was an acceptable result we got from that race, and I think we can build a lot on that throughout the season.
Now, one team that I've kind of pegged as like your rivals for this year is B32, because you were both in the LMP2 class last year, and I think the Nightmare team beat B32, but I don't know about the Dream team. So do you kind of see them in that way as like your rivals moving from LMP2 down to the GT3 class, and do you think you can beat them over the course of the season?
Yeah, for sure we see them as our rivals, and we know them very well, so we have this ongoing battle and joking behind the scenes that, you got us this time and we'll get you next time. After the race I was in the TeamSpeak just joking with them and congratulate them with their very great result. They came in second. I think it's their best result ever. So yeah, but of course we want to beat them, and in my first two stints I could see that our car could keep up with the other teams. I was battling both Glam Racing, Azotec and B32, but yeah, we had some issues giving way for the LMP2 cars. Had a bit of crash, and it cost us some time in at the repairs that got us a lap down or two.
Okay, now I just thought of a question, so I'm going to throw it to you guys, and you're not allowed to answer with your own team. Okay, so in the GT3 class, there are 4. Hang on, I'm just going to double check this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there are 4 Danish teams: B32 Racing, Teleforeningen, Glam Racing, and you guys at DSR. Aside from yourselves, who is the best Danish team in the GT3 class?
Glam Racing.
Fair enough. Glam Racing. So where do you guys see yourself relative to Glam Racing? Because they've had that, I'd say, extra year in the GT3 class, or they were in the GT3 class last year. Do you think you can take the battle to Maria and her squad?
We really want to, but yeah, they were very unlucky. It was sad for them in the Matsusaka race. If they hadn't had that disconnect, they would have placed much better. But for sure, we were gonna give it a go and give them a run for the money, and hopefully beat them a time at one track or two. But it's gonna be hard.
And Stephen, where do you see, the team relative to Glam? Same as Kyle here?
Throughout the season, and when it's all over, I see us at the podium, first place, of course. But on the way, up there, I think we're gonna get a struggle and a fair fight all the way through the season. I think it's some strong teams participating. Some of them we know, maybe a new team or two is among us, but I feel like we belong in the high end of the field, and I believe we can deliver some good results over the next few races before we get to Le Mans in the end.
Now, I did talk about the fact that you guys have jumped from, GT3 class back to the LMP2. Thanks for correcting me on that, Karl. And then now back to the GT3. So I'm going to ask both of you this, and Stephen, I'd like to get your thoughts first. What is the difference between the GT3 and the LMP2, and how have you essentially had to adapt, whether that's from driving style to making setups for the season?
Yeah, but that was a struggle last season. We all wanted to try something new, and we have driven a few years in the GTE class in 17 and 18. So some of us have already been there, and we didn't want to go in the fastest class, because when we had to choose at that time, we didn't know which car it would gonna be in the faster class. It ended up being the DPI, I believe, last year also.
I think it started as the hypercar, the McLaren Senna, and then it switched to the DPI.
Yeah. So that was exactly why we didn't pick that class, because there was a little confusion about which car to choose. So we stuck with the LMP2, and it was the same car for the whole field until the Lykkegaard came to the game. It was, I believe, it was a bit slower, but the B32 started out in that car and struggled a little. I don't know if it was slower, or if it just was a harder car to make setups to. I don't know. But for us, we used a lot of time trying to make some good setups for that car, and we tried to get some knowledge from outside our team, and tried to collect as much knowledge about the car and how to drive it as we could throughout the season, but just never got to the point where we thought this is very great, now we are compatible, because we were never there. It was always the back end of the field. So I think we belong in this class, GT3. We also had our very hard fight in 2020. And we ended up came in second that year, and I believe some stronger teams are among us this year, and we are gonna get a little bit harder fight for the spot. But as I said earlier, I think this is where we belong, and this is where we can make some good results.
Okay, now last time I spoke to you, Kyle, I got to see your setup. Have there been any changes to your sim rigging? Can we get another tour? And then I'd like to get a tour of Steven's setup as well.
Yeah, there has been a bit of upgrade. I purchased Simplicity V4 rig instead of my old homemade. So yeah, that's been the upgrade since last time.
Okay, so a bit of a sturdier rig then, less flexibility.
Yeah, a bit sturdier and nicer looking, easier to set up. My old homemade rig couldn't be changed in back and forth, up and down, and it was set the way I made it. So yeah, with a alloy rig you can change everything to the millimeter. And
So, what's happened to the old rig?
I put it out in the garage, and then I made a post in our Danish group that if anybody wanted it, you can have it for a cold beer, but no one wanted it, so it's going away soon, so it don't take up space in the garage.
Honestly, if I had space in my luggage, I'd get it off you next time I was in Denmark, but I don't think I can check in.
No, and you're gonna pay overweight, and that wouldn't be nice.
Stephen, what's your rig looking like? Can we get a little tour of it?
I don't know if you can get a picture tour, but I can guide you a little through it. I also have a Simplexity V4 rig. Used to have 4 screens, 3 for driving and 1 on top.
Okay.
But I just, for a short while here, moved to a smaller home. So now I'm down to 1 single screen and 1 on top. So I have a little for telemetry and that kind of stuff. So for now it's a little bit compact here.
Yeah.
But next year again it's gonna be the same big rig with 3 screens and all that. So I'm looking forward to getting back to that. It's a bit strange to get used to driving on a single screen when you're used to 3 monitors.
Okay, now I've got a fun game. Call it a game. Do both of you have a piece of paper and a pen at hand?
Nope.
Damn. Okay, this game might not work then.
Yeah,
Okay.
I do.
Okay, so Stephen has it. We can still get this to work then. Okay. So I'm going to ask you both a question. Stephen's going to write down his answer. He won't reveal it. And then, Karl, you're going to give your answer, and Stephen will reveal his, and we'll see if it's the same for both of you. Okay?
Yeah.
I want to know, what do you think your highest place finish is going to be this year in the EEWC? So we'll just wait until Stephen's written this one down.
I've done it.
Okay.
I think Stephen is more optimistic than I am. He usually is. I'm gonna play it fair and say 2nd place. That'll be doable.
Stephen?
Well, I got 1st place written down.
I knew it.
I think we. I hope and believe we can get 1 or maybe 2 of those.
I mean, well, with Mugen blowing up their engine every other race, I think you've got quite a few opportunities for that.
Yeah, they are definitely fast. I tried in my, it was my middle stint, and just go for it. See if I could keep up with them. They were actually half a lap behind us, so I was seeing if I could keep them behind us, and I just couldn't. They catched me. So and they came from dead last to finish 3rd. It was very well done.
Absolute final question, Stephen. There's no way I can go through this interview without complimenting you on that fantastic beard. Does it get any longer than that? Has it been longer than that? And will the beard still be there for the LAN in October?
It hasn't been longer. It's gonna be longer, and it's still gonna be there when we are gonna meet up in the end of October. I promise you that. And also, this is gonna get a little bit longer and remain until the time we get to see you all.
I want to see you racing in your rig with like a Viking helmet on and fully going into it now.
Yeah, we'll get it done for sure.
Wonderful. Well, Stephen, Karl, thank you very much for your time. It's been a pleasure to talk to you, and the best of luck for Monza and the rest of the season.
Thank you. It was nice to talk to you too.
Looking forward to the next race. See you.